All right, everyone, welcome. Thank you very much for joining me in this video. So I have a special video request by a member of the Discord, and the request is for a video review of Boxing Corporation. So we'll do that in this video. Before I get to Boxing Corporation, real quick, guys, I want to talk about SKYWATER Technology. SKYWATER Technologies took a big dive yesterday because of the earnings. The earnings, I mean, they weren't really that bad. They had, I think, like a 16% growth in revenue from previous earnings, so that's a good thing, right? So revenue was about $80 million, which it was an increase from the previous time. So why would it fall? Software guidance, that's all. They had a software guidance. Same thing that AMD, if you remember, AMD, right? It's a big company. They were at $200 the year to date. So in 2024, AMD was at $200. I remember. And then the earnings came out, and pretty much it's like what, 151 now. So I mean, and many other semiconductor stocks have fallen. I'm not saying that SKYWATER Technology is perfect, but it is what it is, and I'm not worried about it. It's a buying opportunity if you have cash. And I'm not saying you should buy it, but just for me, like, you know, those dips are, it did it last year, guys. SKYWATER Technologies, for example. Well, let me show you real quick screenshots. So last year in the Discord, I had called it a buy at $9.55, and then we sold it at $14.20. I had called it a buy at $8.97. We sold it at $10.52. Bought it at $8.94. We were able to sell it at $10.41, and then the final buy was at $8.13 and at $7.52. And in 2024, as you can see here, it hit $13 US. So if you had watched my last year's video on SKYWATER Technologies, or you were in the Discord and you bought at 8 or 750, or even lower than that, I actually went lower after that. It went down to 4. Like I called it at 8 in 2023, my final time I called it, and then it went all the way down to 450. And then just within the next 6 months after that, it turned around and went to 13. So whatever, that was a 100% gain, nearly 100% gain, guys. So from the time I called. So even if you bought like at 750 and sold at 13 in 2024, that was like 90% gain. So yeah, I'm not worried about it. I think, you know, in my opinion, SKYWATER Technologies is still what I think it is, and what I've always said in that it is an investment for me. It's not a trade. The last time I bought it, I said I'm not selling it again. You know, what I do is I have a portfolio. All right, now before I get to Boxing Corporation, this might be a good idea, what I'm going to show you, what I'm going to tell you right now. So if you're a parent, maybe you might want to consider this. I'm not saying you should do that. So I have 2 kids, and I decided that I'm going to create a portfolio. And that portfolio, I'll add as responsible as I can be. Obviously, I'm not going to play gambling in that portfolio, but I will add as responsible as possible good trades, good investments, not trades, investments, so that then I can give those portfolios to my kids when they are grown enough, old enough, obviously, to be able to take care of that portfolio. And if they want to sell it and cash it out, that's fine. As a gift to my kids, to help them out in life, right? So for my son's portfolio, for example, I add in there, you know, SPYD, FDVV, you know, Apple, Google, right? As you know, the best I can get, and the things that I think that by the time he's 18, they will grow. He'll have more money, and so on. And his portfolio will be robust. But you know, I like to add a few extra things that I think could become great, right? I have added SEMrush. I called SEMrush in my Discord and on YouTube. I did a YouTube video last year when SEMrush was trading at $7.95. If you guys remember, SEMrush right now is at 15, so that's nearly 100% gain already. And SKYWATER Technologies, I did add to my son's portfolio, SKYWATER Technologies, about 100 shares, guys. So I don't know, at $8, that's not bad. That's like $800. I think that's fine. That's fine. So that's that. That's the way I see it, guys. That's the way I see SKYWATER Technologies. Right now, SKYWATER Technologies in pre-market is at $7.04. And I believe that it will be at least $10 US minimum in 2024. I believe it'll bounce back. Something else, guys, SILC at $15. I called it a buy in the Discord on May 2nd. And I sold it on May 6th at 16.35. So I sold it at 16.35. Guys, right now it's at 17.15. So I guess I sold that early. If you want to join my Discord, the link will be in the comment section below. And with that being said, let's go to Boxing Corporation. So Boxing Corporation, guys, is trading at $26.06. And what you are seeing here is the 5-year chart. Boxing Corporation provides, guys, a cloud content management platform, right? Cloud content management platform that enables organizations of various sizes to manage and share their content from anywhere on any device. One of the things that you should look at if you're planning on investing, not trading, if you're going to day trade or do a short-term trade, you could care less who the founder is, I guess. I don't know, but I mean, if you're going to invest in a stock, if you're going to invest in a company, then you want to know who in the world is behind this company, who's leading this company, right? What I like about Boxing Corporation, guys, is that Box remains led by its co-founders. It's not one of those Silicon Valley startups that eventually gets sold off to some hedge funds or whatever, and eventually some professional CEO comes in and takes over, and if he sucks after 4 or 5 years, they'll replace him and all that stuff. So Box remains led by its co-founders Aaron Levie and Dylan Smith as CEO and CFO respectively. Now, something else to keep in mind with Boxing Corporation, obviously you should do your own due diligence and don't buy this stock blindly. Stop doing that, guys. That's not it's not nice at all. You need to do your own homework. But if you do your homework later and you like this company, keep in mind that they do have earnings coming up on Tuesday, May 28, 2024. So maybe you might want to wait first for the earnings to see what the results are before you make any moves. What I like also about Boxing Corporation, guys, is that 96.4% of the investors in this company are institutions, guys. If it was 96% retail, I wouldn't want to touch it. So also, Box expects to hit 27% pro forma operating margin in forward year 2025, which will be up from 24% in forward year 2024. That's what they say. If that works out, obviously it's going to be good for the stock. Let's see what the CEO of Box had to say about AI regulation, because they do offer a product called Box AI.
So you have been in DC this week, right?
Yeah.
And you often talk to the regulators about sort of plans for AI. Obviously, you're as excited about anyone as the possibilities and the opportunity.
Yeah.
What is the risk of regulation? What did they tell you this week? Are you more or less optimistic that our own regulators have the right tools and the right aims here?
Yeah, so most of the conversations were with Congress. Obviously, those in Congress trying to figure out where do we take AI regulation and what are the possible laws that we need to enact. Let me just TLDR it first. I'm actually very optimistic based on the conversations that I was involved in this week. I think we have a Congress that, while obviously many dimensions of it can be dysfunctional, I think there's a lot of productive conversation happening around AI.
Now, to get a better understanding of a company before you invest, you obviously want to know what products they offer. Now, Boxing Corporation, guys, is kind of, but not similar. I repeat, not similar to SEMrush, but kind of, in that they offer this cloud-based software services, right? Software as a service, SaaS, and they have the pricing model. I'll show you the pricing model. I kind of understand what Box is. I mean, I understand SEMrush because I personally was a customer of SEMrush for my online business. So I kind of understand where Box is. I can understand their product offerings, and I like them. So they offer Box Core Security, Box Shield. Now, I would obviously advise that you go over to their website or pause the video to read these small descriptions here to understand a little bit about what these product offerings are. They have Box Governance and all these Box Zones, Box Key Cells, and so on. They also have, for collaboration and workflow, different product offerings that you can see here. And then when we look at the pricing plan, I find it very attractive. It's a very reasonably pricing plan. It's showing it in euro because I'm in Europe, but it's basically like 15 euros is like 15 bucks. So just look at it in US dollars, I guess 23 bucks and so on. So it's very reasonable pricing. App integrations that they offer, right, for all the big companies, for Adobe, Slack, DocuSign, Office 365, Google, IBM, and all that stuff. And they're trusted by the world's leading organizations, Airbnb, Morgan Stanley, Twilio, AstraZeneca, Intuit, and even the US government, who is a rival of Box, because it can't always be everything is rosy and perfect and Box is the greatest company and the greatest stock to invest in. We have to understand that they also have competitors, and you want to know the competitors, right? Google Drive. Google Drive is a partly big competitor to Box, so keep that in mind. Now, when we look at the financial information, guys, I don't know. I think it looks good overall. It does. When we look at the revenue, it's stunning. I mean, there hasn't been 1 year where this company didn't have revenue growth. Not one. Now, I mean, ever since they have been founded, basically. But if we look at the past 6-7 years, look at that. They started in 2015 with $300 million in revenue, and every single year just growing to reach their first $1 billion mark in revenue in 2023. And it is expected that in 2024, they're going to break a new record in revenue. So it's amazing how they're constantly growing. I like that. The gross profit, same thing, growing. Looking at total liabilities, kind of mixed, but kind of positive. For the past 3 years, let's say from 2021 to 2023, there's been a decrease in total liabilities. Same thing for the debt. Total debt is just $491 million. I mean, I know it's not just, it's a big debt, but I think they're handling it well. Operating income is at $50.7 million. The net income is positive $129 million, guys. I think that's amazing. They ended 2023 with a really powerful net income. And the free cash flow. You know, one thing that I like is to look, just one of the metrics is to look at a free cash flow. When you look at the free cash flow, guys, in 2023, $300 million, are you kidding me? In fact, the free cash flow has been positive since 2017, and it grew from $23 million to now $300 million. Looking at the news for the 1 month ago, they had Bulletproof Global Brand Agency chooses Box for cloud content management. Federal Defender's Office powers cloud content management with Box. And then Box posts their first $1 billion fiscal year as AI sales pick up, and that was 2 months ago. So now, interesting, dark pool. What's going on in the dark pool? So if you have access to my Discord, you have access to dark pool. Dark pool, for those of you who don't know, is a private exchange where the elite can buy and sell stocks or ETFs in huge blocks, and it's anonymous. So you don't know who bought or sold, and they do it on the dark pool so it doesn't affect the, let's say, regular market sentiment. It exists. It's yeah, so the dark pool exists, but you have access to it and you can see live what's going on. And so dark pool trade, guys, for Box on April 30th, these are the last 3 dark pool trades that we were able to find. For April 30th, 2024, 4 p.m. Eastern, there was a dark pool sell, right? So somebody sold 374,600 shares at $26.02. So that's that. Then there were 2 buys, which was on April 25th, 290,400 shares worth $7.8 million. And then there was a really big one on April 12th for 1.4 million shares at $26.94. That guy spent $38.7 million. Analyst ratings. So analysts give it a low of 21 and a high of 35. In the middle, somewhere in the 30s, right? So the stock's trading at 26. We're looking at the analysts. Who are the last 2 analysts that gave a rating for Box? It is these 2 guys here. You can see their ratings as far as how good they are with when they rate something and if, you know, how it turns out within the next 12 months. So this guy gives it a sell and says that Box should be 21 bucks. He gave that on March 20th. And then on March 20th, same day, this guy over here said, no, it's a buy and it's worth $32 US. How I personally would play Box. For me, Box is a buy and I would love to sell at 30. I would not hold anything higher than that, or maybe to be, or just say it differently. All right, so for me, Box is a sell at 30, but if it hits 30, I would first look at the stock, the market situation, what's going on in general in the sector of where Box is and all that stuff, and make up my mind if I should continue to hold or just get out. That's just the way I would do it. All right, so I repeat, 30 would be a sell if I see at that point that it's not worth holding any longer. And I say that because somebody's going to see this video 1 or 2 years later from here, and maybe Box is lower, and they're going to write, this didn't age well. You know, it's like, okay. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I wish you guys all the best, and take care.